Hi, I'm Mike Peterson from Brown Harris Stevens. The Hamptons runs on relationships, and over the years, I've built a network of top-tier professionals who operate at the highest level. Mic Hamptons is your access point to that world, the people, the insights, and the opportunities behind it all. Welcome to another episode of the Mic Hamptons Podcast. This is powered by the Hamptons Networking Group, HNG Long Island. We are a group of about 30 folks. We meet every week and we are a variety of professionals in the Hamptons on the real estate seat. We've got builders, electricians, master plumbers, etc. And we all come together to help each other out and grow our respective businesses. And I am thrilled today to bring on my very good friend and who holds a very interesting seat in the group. This is Rick McMaster.
Hey, everybody.
So, Rick, so we've known each other a bit now and have had some good times together, but when I think about the Hamptons, there are people that, come from the city and, that's by nature of what the Hamptons are, but there are folks that I consider to be part of the fabric of the Hamptons. Mm-hmm. What always is funny to me, sometimes odd to me, is that no matter where I go, everybody seems to know you. So
is that a good thing or a bad thing, Mike?
So far, it's been pretty good, but I'm sure we'll cross some bad paths at some point.
Hopefully, not too bad.
It'll be fine. But you're not originally from here. What got you here?
So as a kid, we used to come out here in the early 60s and go to Wainscott, Main Beach, because my parents had I guess it was cabana rights to the facility there from our neighbors. So we used to come out here quite often. And my parents always wanted to retire out here. So in 1970, after having moved from being born in Glen Cove, moving into Muttontown to Syosset, from Syosset to East Northport, we then moved in 1975 out to East Hampton and started to meet a lot of interesting people out here. So I am just a transplant like many of us. So
been here longer than most. So you and now you are a resident of Sag Harbor.
I am indeed, yeah.
Okay. I met you at kind of the tail end of your career. You started in landscaping, so I'm not going to speak for you, but you started a landscaping business. You grew a very successful landscaping business. You then sold your landscaping business, and now you've taken on some new and interesting role, which we'll get to. But can you just kind of tell us about the genesis of how you got to Ram Enterprises?
So I started Ram Enterprises. Actually, this would have been my 40th year this year, and I started that when I was 26 years old. And it was a venture that my wife and I took on, and we thought that it was going to be something that was going to be very profitable, and it was going to be able to provide for the family, and it did so. In that process of doing that, what we wound up achieving was to be able to segue from actually doing the landscaping also into buying real estate and then venturing into renovating these homes and then living in them, selling them, et cetera, and then moving on to where I am now. So with having Ram Enterprises, it was able to help me do a lot of things, which is quite interesting. And so then after, it was the 35th year, I was approached and they wanted to buy my company. And I said, yes. And so here I am. I am now, you would consider to be the investor of the group of HNG. So this gives me an opportunity to actually be able to buy a home, renovate it on the inside, and also then transform the outside into what I like to do most of all.
So I know we're all collectively working on a great project right now, which I'm going to highlight in a second, but you don't come to this lightly. My understanding is you've done this at least a half a dozen times over the years.
True. One commercial piece of property that I've had, and then I did 7 homes for myself.
So you know the process, the ups and downs, but at the end of the day, I'm assuming you probably did well on every single one.
Yeah,
Great.
we were very fortunate to be able to hit the market at the right time on the purchases and then on the sale. So we did very well.
I always, I'm a realtor. I sell kind of anything, but people ask about value in the Hamptons. I always try to think about, how do you create values? It's you walk into a brand new, beautiful build and you're paying retail because the builder wants to get their money out. And I understand that. And that's part of the, that's how it works. But sometimes, I always joke around and say there are people, may have, $5 million taste on a $2.5 million budget. And how do you bridge that gap? And so then it's folks from our group that turn around and can help you to create your own specific vision. Because even if you're buying someone's new home, unless you've been a part of that process from the get-go, you're still accepting their tastes and what they've put together.
True.
As opposed to doing a fixer-upper, which is, you get the exact kitchen and bathroom and, living space that you want.
Having been on construction sites for 40 years, actually more than 40 years, but being able to see homes that were $30 million down to, $1 million home, being able to see that and also becoming friends with all those contractors gave me a real good insight to see from the day one of excavation to the day that it was completed and laying the last of the sod and then handing the keys over to the new buyer. That's given me a great ability to be able to see true value that we have here. And this project that I've taken on with the group, I want to say collectively, I am the investor in it, but I'm anxious to bring everybody in and to be able to have them shine on this project that we're going to be doing in Southampton Village.
Yeah, so the backstory to that is you had this successful landscaping business for many, many years. You sold the landscaping business. When the company that purchased it, they bought, I'm assuming, your entire book of business, all your staff, and and all your equipment. But you had this commercial property,
Correct.
which then I had the great pleasure of selling recently.
Yep.
And now,
you did. With your help, I was able to sell that in a very, minimal amount of time.
it's all good. But now that's put you in a position where you came to me and said, what's my role going to be in this group? You went from being the landscaper in our group to, I was jokingly always saying gentleman farmer, but you're really the investor for the group. So which is lovely. And so now as a collective, we're working on this. We sold the property in East Hampton. Now we've closed on Fixer Upper in Southampton Village. And Chad, who's the attorney for the group, did the closing. I think he did a bang up job.
He did. Great.
Now Fernando's doing all the CAD design work and helping with all the permitting, and Joe Rafis is going to be the GC on it. And I'm going to not step on your toes here, but I love that your enthusiasm for the group and that you're trying to support everybody. It's awesome. I love that we all work together for this completed project, which we'll put hopefully back on the market in the year.
Let's say October, November.
Perfect.
Is about my guess.
We were looking September originally, but
well, with the fact that we've got the first snag that we've really encountered was the pyramid law, and being able to put the second floor on, we need to go for a variance for that.
Good.
Which is a small, bleep in the radar when you really think about it as far as hiccups go.
So what are the next steps with the group then? I want to catch up on it because I'm aware of a lot of it, but the audience isn't, and I'm sure that you've had a lot of conversations with a lot of different folks in the group. Where do we go from here?
Well, next step. So we're still in the process of submitting all the paperwork to the Southampton Village. Once that's done, then we're going to be able to start to execute. In the meantime, we're actually going for two building permits. One will be for the pool and the pool house to be able to get that moving. In the meantime, what I've done is I've been able to go in and prune all the trees, remove the trees that were deemed unfit for the dwelling, one, because of insurance purposes, we had to get rid of them, but also to be able to give a little bit more light and open space. As you can see now, the property looks much larger than what it looked like when we first looked at it. The fence is already up. I've got 3 30-foot trees that we just put in yesterday, which was a lot of fun. And it was thrilling to see these trees get unloaded from one of our local contractors that I've known since I'm 10 years old, which is pretty awesome.
So now, and so Fernando, I know, has, who does CAD design, the architectural work, he's kind of championing all the permitting process with the town. So that's good. And now Joe, it will be GCing it. So I'm assuming, like, who else in the group are you planning on working with?
Jason would be our electrician. We've got Brian will be doing the plumbing work. I'm hoping to be able to either use Chris Stasi either for a lot of the masonry, but I don't know if he'll be able to handle the egress door that will be leading to the basement, or is that something that Ron will be doing?
I think it's Ronnie.
Okay.
Egress Pros.
So they'll be taking care of that, but then we've got a multitude. We've got Dennis will probably do the siding, since he owns a roofing and siding company and waterproofing company is at the same time. So I'm hoping to be able to use a lot of people that are here in our group to be able to make this project, move forward.
Carpet One with John Benzie with
Exactly.
the wood flooring.
Correct.
And then ultimately, I'm sure we're leaving a couple of people out in all this, but in the end now, Lana just joined the group and
Lana will be staging the house in the very end.
Amazing.
I'm really excited to be able to use Lana for that. So it's really using as many people possible in our group to be able to make this house really shine.
So I think it's interesting that, so really, realistically, if we get it right, it's going to be about a 7 or 8 month process from start to finish.
Correct.
Which I think it's interesting to know that you can do these projects like that and get there are folks that want to look for these kinds of houses, these opportunities. Sorry.
So I wanted to back up with Chad being the attorney. The seller of the property was a woman that she has now suffered from Alzheimer's or dementia. And the original power of attorney was written in Spanish.
That's right.
Which Suffolk County does not, they don't accept that. So that was our first hurdle that we had to run over. Really run over this. We really did have to conquer this 100%. But Chad was able to work through that. We were able to maneuver around it, and we were able to get Suffolk County to accept that as an affidavit that was valid. And that was our first hurdle that we went over. So this next hurdle, as I was just saying before, is going to be the variance because of the pyramid law. But it's small bleeps in a radar, and it's going to be fun.
Look, there's always any project. There's always going to be an issue.
There is, but it's problem solution.
Yeah.
So it's
1,000%.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, so we've hit this wall. How do we get around it, or how do we knock it down? And that's exactly what we're doing with any hurdle that we have to come through.
Yeah, it's I'm super excited about the whole process. Now all this nice, fun, jovial conversation about to go out the window because every week I had this gong here, which I would assume people would be going, "What does he have a gong on?" And so in our process at HNG, everybody stands up and gives us a speech. And in the beginning, Rick was always just so enthusiastic and trying to work with everybody and giving Chris Stasi business and this introduction and that introduction. And you should meet this person and work with that person. And finally, what I've seen in other networking groups, they'll have some sort of like foghorn or something like that.
Yeah.
So we had to find a gong. And originally I named it the McMaster, which I think really annoyed you.
Not really, but I knew why you did it because I would go on and on. It was a good thing.
You're good.
It was the enthusiasm. It really was the enthusiasm and the passion. And I think that, you could gong anybody in our group because everybody's got passion for what we do.
I don't really use the gong anymore. Everybody's
well behaved, but we've being that our group formed 2.5 years ago now.
Yeah, let's say 3. Yeah,
Close to 3. We've all grown extremely comfortable with one another,
Yeah.
And we're growing
And
immensely.
trust.
And trust is a huge thing.
Yep.
And being able to trust that you're going to be able to provide each and every job aspect that you represent to the group is an unbelievable thing.
Yeah.
And we overlap a lot in certain things, but everybody respects that. And that's what I really love about it, is everybody has their niche. We all work together on that niche, and we all give insight.
You know, we in order to be a part of HNG, you have to sign off and
Correct.
take a pledge. And the pledge is basically, I'm going to do the work that I say I'm going to do at the price that I've quoted, and that you'll return phone calls, that you'll show up on time.
Correct.
And people, we hold each other accountable, which is nice. If you say you're going to do something, do it. If I'm going to give as a real estate agent, people always ask me, do you know this person or that person? And I put myself at risk because I worked so hard to develop the relationship to begin with, and then it can go pear-shaped really quickly. And
it can go south,
yeah. But the group is, I feel very strongly that the group is, right on target with it all. Now it seems like they're, so where do you see after Southampton is, you kind of made it sound like you're, if this works out well, we're on to the next one.
That will be it. And then hopefully, instead of having to invest the money that I did, we might be able to do it a collective group investment, which will mean it'll be a larger project, which would be even more exciting. So this is a small one, but it's also testing the waters for everybody to get you're dipping your toe in the water right now, everybody. So it's an opportunity for all of us to really shine and to make our H&G group shine. And that's the most exciting part about it. I feel that is one of the most exciting things about it. And then again, it's the first of many things that we're going to be doing as a collective group.
Yep. People, there are a couple different approaches to buying real estate out here, and to be able to look to a group, whether I sell a piece of land or I find and there's so many fixer-uppers out here. It's a matter of timing and getting the right deal, the right time. But there's kind of an endless supply of that. New houses are a little more limited, but I like that the group can cover it all. That if you wanted to build from scratch, so it's Fernando and Joe, who before this group had been working together for years, and walked in the door and it's like, what are you doing here? It's like, again, that's how small the community can be out here, but everybody knows and they're comfortable and they like and they trust each other, which is great. So is anybody else, I'm just curious, if we haven't touched on anybody else or that you'd like to work within the group at this point. Like I know Samantha, you guys have been speaking.
Samantha, actually, I brought over to my own home in Sag Harbor in Bay Point, and I'm excited to have her because her concepts from beginning, from conception concept to completion is very thorough, and Sam is going to be best suited to be able to help me do that with my own home. I'm still going to be able to use a lot of the people in the group, but just her as an individual, I can really appreciate. And I'm having a meeting with her. I think it's next Thursday.
Well, that's
She's
good.
my husband.
Yeah, that's they do design build, and she's just tier one. Huge fan.
Yep. Same.
So normally this is where I would say in the conversation where I would have you say, promote your business, but your business is you.
I can't really. Well, I used to be able to do it, but not at the moment.
So you are the investor seat in the group. At some point, I'm assuming we'll probably have a couple more investors join the group. But in the end, it's the whole premise of this is that people need help in the Hamptons. They need to know that there are folks that they can get to that are going to show up, quote a fair price, do a good job, be held responsible. And I think that's what I'm excited about. That's what we've built together, because you've been there kind of just about from the very beginning of this. So.
I think I was shy a couple of months when we first started.
So Chris and I were laughing the other day, Chris Beninati, like we used to, when we first started, we came up with this concept, we were like meeting in the basement of Brown Harris Stevens.
Well, that's another person that I actually have to meet with because I have to do my own financial planning moving forward. And that is another person. So we do pretty much hit every aspect of being a homeowner and an entrepreneur with our group,
Yep.
which is great.
Yeah, I'm thrilled every day, every week. It's all good. So at this point, then I'm going to say thank you for joining the show today.
My pleasure, Mike.
It's always
As
a
always.
pleasure. Yep, absolutely. And I'll see you at the American Hotel.
Indeed. And you'll be driving that car?
And I'll be driving the car that I recently got from Rick, which the Batmobile. So thank you for tuning into another episode of the Mic Hamptons Podcast. I'm Michael Peterson with Brown Harris Stevens, and I just want to let you know that if you ever need any help in the Hamptons, I know a guy. See you soon.
Thank you all. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.
Oh man, awesome.
Always a pleasure.
Hey, this is Michael. Thanks for listening to Mic Hamptons, powered by the Hamptons Networking Group, where the right people make the right things happen. If you're planning anything in the Hamptons, buying, selling, building, hosting, or investing, don't do it alone. Tap into our network of vetted, top-tier service providers who get things done at the highest level. And if real estate is part of your plan, I bring deep knowledge, strong network, and a track record of getting deals done the right way. Reach out anytime. We'll see you on the next one. You can call, text, or DM me right now, or visit my website to get connected. I work with a tight network, and the best deals go to the people who move first. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you on the next deal. Keep making moves.